Hello, this is Berzinsky for Beardbrand Alliance. They say that hindsight is 20/20. 2020 is behind us, but recorded forever are some of these gems. And it could be anywhere from 2 more weeks to a month out, and so up to about 6 weeks, potentially. Yes, I predicted that the coronavirus and quarantine would be around for 6 weeks. And here we are, 52 weeks later, and for a big part of the world, many of us are still in quarantine. Others slowly crawl out. But the Corona Beard Challenge was given, and I'm surprised that a lot of guys have stayed with it. I put out a request for submissions for guys who have basically not touched their beard, with the exception of maybe a little trim in the past year. And I was surprised how many there were. Let's take a look at them. I was floored by some of these submissions, and I think you will be too. Stay tuned. Yes, the coronavirus has been around for a whole year. I threw down the challenge, the Corona Beard Challenge, a year ago, and encouraging guys to grow their beard while in quarantine. And some guys are actually still in quarantine, or some portion of quarantine, and a lot of guys have stayed with their beards. At 3 months, at 6 months, we saw some pretty impressive beards. Little did I know that many of the guys would stay with their beards for 52 weeks. So let's take a look at those. I'm going to start with some younger guys who are growing their beards for the first time, many of them, while in quarantine. And here are their results. We have Jack here, looking quite young, and he is 20 years old, and this is his first beard, and first beard with promise. He has not trimmed his beard. So this is pretty indicative of a guy who is 20 years old, growing his first beard. You see that he doesn't have the length that you might expect, 6 inches of beard on a mature beard, but this is quite impressive for a 20-year-old. Good going, Jack. We have Tariq, who is 25 years old, a little older. You can see he has some coverage and pretty typical of a guy in mid-early 20s, and he has let his beard go without trimming, and you can see his impressive results. So a lot of guys, especially when they're young, don't know what they have, because a lot of times you keep shaving. The novelty of shaving is there, and when you stop shaving, you don't know what you have for the first time. And many of these guys are seeing it while in quarantine for the first time. We have a guy who's 24 years old here, pretty much a baby face. And you can see that he is starting to get some impressive length on the front of his beard, but not 100% even coverage, which is very typical when guys' beards come in at an early age. Not all of the hairs grow the same rate on your face, and especially when you're younger, they particularly don't. But that's a great show for a 24-year-old. We have a guy who has no particular age here, and I can't tell. He might be slightly older, but you can actually see how his Corona beard changed his face. You can see here, he has a shaved head, and when he grew his beard, it really does, I think, improve his looks. May I be so bold. He looks great. His name is Robin, and great beard. He might be a little older there. I'm just seeing some gray for the first time. We have a guy here, I'm going to end with this one in the younger category. We have a guy here who is 23 years old. And you look at this guy, and I'm seeing not a lot of coverage on the lip there, and a lot of empty spots. And he let his beard grow for an entire year. Yes, I said year. He let his beard grow for an entire year to produce his yeard. And look at it, impressive. Looks like he took a little off the bottom here, but this is pretty typical of what a guy might see at the end of 1 year growing his beard. Pretty impressive results from young guys. We have guys who are a little older in this set, and these guys have done some trimming. These guys have known what their beards had the potential to do, but took the opportunity in quarantine to actually continue to grow them. So we have Brett here, and you can see Brett has a beard, so he knew that he could grow a beard, and he continued to let it grow, and you can see his impressive results. Brett's 30 years old. He said he trimmed the bottom of his beard, but he is letting his beard grow and will continue to have a fuller beard, all because of quarantine. We have Roman here, who's 35 years old. You can see there's a lot of coverage on his face, so it shouldn't be a surprise that the man has a full beard, and a full beard indeed. Roman has a beautiful beard. These are the kind of beards that a lot of guys envy for such even coverage, thickness, and fullness. Looks like he trimmed off a little on the bottom. But it's great to see that guys have taken the past year to actually go from having a shaved face to having a beard. And in a lot of these cases, they are beards that represent at least 9, 10, at least 12, or 12 months in many of the cases we see here. We have another guy here who, I'm looking at this envious juvenile hairline on this guy, and I don't see a lot of hair on his face, but he let his beard grow, he let his hair grow a little bit, and pow, his name is Ahmad, and he has the most incredible hair and the most incredible facial hair. Once again, the kind that strikes envy into many a guy who wanting to grow a beard for the first time. But amazing results, and once again, taking quarantine as an opportunity to grow that beard. We have Adid, and take a look at this guy. He looks pretty young. He's 31 years old, looking younger than his age, and pretty smooth in the face department, letting his beard grow for a year. Look at the difference between before and after here. It's a different person. How much a beard can change your looks. In a lot of cases, improving your looks. And this is a case where he was denying the world that beard, the potential for that beard. Awesome presentation on the beard, a little trimming on the bottom, stylized handlebar mustache. Amazing, and beautiful hair to boot. We have Joseph here, who is 45 years old, so we are jumping a little bit up in age. You can see that he has some gray hair, so he's definitely age appropriate with the gray. But you know, I see some spotty areas on his beard, so we let it go, and he sees that he has more beard than he thought he would have after years and years of shaving. So often, let it go. You'll see what you got by the end of 3 months. And at the end of 3 months, he decided that he was going to keep growing and keep that beard for an entire year. We have James here. James, you can see, has a beard at the beginning of quarantine 1 year ago, and with some coverage that looks a little spotty around the lip there and looks pretty low on the sides. But you can see he let his beard grow. Bam! Amazing mustache. He told me he trimmed a little off the bottom. I had seen the pre-trim picture. It wasn't significantly different. So this was the amount of hair that James could grow as a 30-year-old in the course of a year. He might have trimmed a ½ an inch off the bottom. But amazing. So once again, lower cheek line, some spots around the cheek, the lip, lower lip here. It doesn't matter. You grow it and you have an impressive beard. I've saved the best for last. I hope you hung around for the video here. These guys, for the most part, did 0 trimming. And let's just say this is our A-class, our first team. We have Larry here, who is 51 years old and a man of a certain age, wearing probably some questionable hirsute on his face in the form of that soul patch, but letting his beard go for the course of the year. You can see, you know, this is pretty typical to grow about 5 or 6 inches on your chin, on the bottom. Great beard, and once again, changing his looks, and in my opinion, definitely for the better. We are getting to our, what I would consider our #1 submission here, but on the way up, we have Russell. Russell's 47 years old, looking all the bit of a dad. And when Russell grew his beard, the change in his look, honestly, you know, they look like maybe related, maybe brothers, but case in point, you know, different style on the hair and having this beard. This guy's beard is so big it won't even fit in the camera range. So once again, impressive amount of hair on his face, and he would have never realized it if it wasn't for being in quarantine. So hats off to you, Russell, for growing that beard. Fantastic. We have Fred here, one of our older submissions. Fred's 63 years old. You can see there's a lot of coverage here. So I would suspect big things, and bam, big things is definitely there. We have a 1 year Corona beard. This is a yeared, and you can actually see that some guys' beards will grow faster than 6 inches a month. So in his case, what does he have on the bottom of his chin there? 7 or 8 inches. So not all hair growth is the same. On average, and I'm going to say 80% of guys fit into that 1/2 inch a month. But some guys are accelerated in the growth department, and he is definitely one of them. Fred grew this impressive beard with 0 trimming while in quarantine. Hats off to him. We have Tom Archer here. Tom is 33 years old, and I see some shadow there, so I'm suspecting this guy has a pretty big beard. And bow tie and orchid there. I'm not questioning the style, but I just realized he's obviously at a wedding a year ago, and suspenders still intact. And 1 year later, Tom grew pretty much what I would say would be a typical beard at 1 year. So 6 inches on the bottom of his chin there, but a great look, fantastic mustache. And once again, I think changing his looks for a plus. We have our last 2 submissions here, saving the best for last. We have Austin. Austin is 31 years old, and you can see Austin has, it doesn't look like an impressive beard a year ago at the age of 31. It is probably what is representative of a 1 month beard. And in the past 12 months, he has added incredible length on his beard. This is a prototypical beard, letting his beard grow without trimming. So you can see at the bottom of his beard, there's a little lettuce areas. And so refinement of that, he might just whack off 1/2 inch on the bottom to make that more blunt. But an amazing presentation on his beard. So once again, give the beards a chance. In many cases, they're going to come in. So for our gold star, for our trophy winner, for our gold medal, we are going with Joshua here. Joshua is 33 years old, started with a small beard, and I can see tons of coverage. And I'm not going to be surprised if this guy has a great beard. But when I saw the after picture in his case, Joshua, 1 year later, reveals, bam, this amazing beard, fantastic beard. He did no trimming whatsoever to the mustache or to the beard, just letting the growth go on, what was a 1 month beard to start. So this is a 13-month beard, but adding significant length and fullness on his beard. You can see in his before picture, he had a lot of hair underneath his chin, on the neck, and that kind of hair in that location can contribute greatly to the thickness when you have a longer beard. So great job, Joshua. He is our award winner. He gets the gold star. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'm wondering how many will keep going. Will we do an update in 2 years to see who hung with it? If there's other guys out there, maybe we'll request other submissions. There were a lot of submissions. Some guys had trimmed a significant amount on their beard. I thought it was fair to maybe just do the ones who had a little bit of trimming. But maybe we'll come back and review some other guys if I get more submissions. More on that later. So, did you take the Corona Beard Challenge in March of 2020? And you hung around not only for that 4 to 6 weeks, but you hung around for an entire year. Yes, I said it again, a year. Did you hang around for a year? Love to hear it in the comments. Tell us if you have grown a Corona beard and you have kept it on for 1 year. Until we meet again.
Hey, I'm Mark. I think that Beardbrand products and the Beardbrand mission, they've really helped me kind of wear my beard and present it to the world in a way that, honestly, for the first time in my life, kind of makes me feel kind of handsome. Sometimes. But anyway, thanks, guys.